Blissings! It's an honor to connect with you once again. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Heather, and in this video I'm going to be sharing about past lives, my personal experiences, as well as how you can tap into your personal past life experiences, and how you can utilize the memories to benefit you in this now incarnation. So past lives and past life regressions is a very popular topic that appears in my reality quite often. I give personal healings and sessions and past life regressions online, Skype, as well as in person. People always want to know about their past lives, where they've been, who they've been, and why. Why do we want to know this information? Recalling your past lives can actually help you to remember who you are now. There are certain characteristics and tools in these past lives that we've experienced. Basically, our soul is able to incarnate into many different forms in many different timelines. Essentially, past lives are parallel realities because time and space is irrelevant dimensionally. So in a sense, it's like an aspect of you is existing in another life, in another space, in another body, in another energy entirely, in another timeline. So when we recall these past life experiences or parallel realities, then we can actually tap in to that being that we once were or that we are, or even a future self, and we can acquire tools, information, insight, and guidance from these other aspects of ourselves to utilize and bring forth in this life to help us with who we are now. And this is actually something that I do quite often and have been doing for years, where I tap into who I was in another life, and I actually channel the skills and the abilities of that being into this life. Now I know that might sound kind of crazy essentially, but really there is actually no other explanation for what is happening besides the fact that I'm channeling who I was in a past life. And if you truly think about it, it's really not that crazy. If you think of who you are in this moment, you can observe that you have lots of different moods, different personality traits, different aspects of yourself. You know, we have the child, we have the feminine, we have the masculine, we have the warrior, we have the protector, we have all different types of being. And truly, like, we feel so many different ways even throughout one day, one week, 1 hour, one moment. Our emotions are constantly in flux. This is in part due to the environment in which we are subject to, also what we've experienced in this life, but it is also influenced by who we have been previously and what we've experienced previously. There are certain karmic and energetic imprints that we carry on through our lives that our souls hold. So though you may be new to this body, you're most likely not new to Earth, and especially not new to the galaxy. So recalling past lives. Obviously there are actual past life regression sessions that you can undergo. Some people use hypnosis, other people use certain types of meditation where you can actually go into a trance and often experience actual visions and dreams and actual scenarios where you existed as another person in a different time. You can also induce these memories on your own. There are certain places, people, music, events, scenarios that can spark these memories within you. It's actually happened to me before where I've listened to a certain type of music and it's resonated with me so deeply that I knew that I must have come from the same place in which that music was derived from. It was a different language entirely, but I understood it. I understood it on a soul level. It was so familiar to me that I just know, yes, okay, those were once my people. Those are my people. They still are my people. And in connecting to that life that I once lived, where I was connected to those people by blood, I now feel that soul connection and there is no separation. So essentially, recalling past lives can help you to dissolve any separation of you identifying with this one being, this one skin color, this one language, this one religion that you're currently entertaining in this incarnation. Understanding, innerstanding that you are connected to so many different lives, so many different times, so many different places can help you to kind of wrap your mind around the fact that you are a multidimensional, infinite being, and truly what you are expressing as now doesn't identify who you actually are, who your soul is. So if you feel called to go to certain places, there's most likely a reason. I actually have many clients who have felt called to go to certain areas, and I've actually personally experienced this where I was called to Brazil specifically and actually manifested this scenario in like a perfectly divine synchronistic way. And when I landed in Brazil, I felt it through my feet. I felt the prana of the land through my feet going up through my being, and it was like, you're home. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Brazil is my only home, no. It was actually just one place that I lived in a past life. And so being there, I was able to tap deeper into myself. I had a bunch of like past life regressions and death experiences from past lives. So many things come through that actually brought so much clarity and information as to why I am who I am and how I am who I am. And in better understanding that, I'm able to approach and treat myself more properly as well. Really, as we are here on earth, we're really just getting to know ourselves like again and again and again and again, and really redefining what it means to actually get to know yourself, because it's not just this. That's the illusion, right? That's 3D. It's not just what appears before you. There is actually so much behind what is just in front of you. So much that has gone into creating that now moment, and so much that is going to become of the now moment. So again, it's just tapping into these timelines and allowing time and space to become irrelevant and just to exist in the now, in the present. And again, recalling these past lives, it's not about identifying or attaching to who you once were, but it's just understanding that and then allowing that information to be applied to your now moments and just to understand yourself better. Also, in recalling past lives, you can locate hidden traumas and fears that were imprinted onto you, possibly from other times and other lives. If there's just some reason that you're like so scared of going in the ocean, you just can't go in the ocean, you have this weird fear, possibly because you died in a shipwreck or were eaten by a shark or something happened in a past life that energetically imprinted that fear onto you. In recalling that past life, like actually going to the ocean and meditating prior and breathing and being fully present as to what's coming through your head, your mind, your soul, your heart, what you're feeling, understanding that, oh, maybe I did actually experience something. Wow, I have a direct recollection of being in the ocean and this shipwreck happened and all this, like that makes sense as to why I'm scared of this and this and this. Then you can realize that actually that's not even valid any longer because it was from a past life. So you can actually identify the reasons why you have these certain triggers and these traumas and these fears in this life. And again, just bringing awareness to that shines light on it and then allows it to be transmuted so that you can properly integrate it into your life. Like, no, I can go into the ocean, I'm okay. That's not this life. That's not the plan for this life. It may have happened in a last life, but I'm truly comprehending what that means. I'm acquiring the tools and the skills for that. Okay, learning the lessons. All right, move forward, go in the ocean. It's super healing. I've really experienced so much healing in remembering who I was. So just a little personal backstory of some past lives that I've recalled. Again, I'm only going to share a few with you because I could make a video for 10 hours about all the experiences that I've experienced in the past lives, and I've actually experienced real visions, and these again have manifested tangibly in my life. I'm very skeptic if something just like comes through. I'm not just like, oh wow, that's truth, like I lived this. Like I'm always very aware of, okay, what's the environment? Was that a projection? Is that a projection of my own? Is it someone else's? So basically these past life experiences that I'm sharing with you have undergone much scrutiny, and I have received lots of tangible proof that these actually occurred and have even utilized them in my now moments. A specific past life experience that is very dear to my heart and that I really resonate and connect with, I actually experienced about 15 years ago. I was about 10 years old when I had this vision. Again, I was completely sober, 10 years old, and wasn't sleeping. It was an actual vision where I fell into an actual trance and experienced myself existing as this African man. He was a tribe leader and had a village and was a very powerful, strong warrior man. And the different visions that I've experienced as him have been from casual to really intense. One of them that was really intense, I actually experienced his death with him, where his village was raided by other people and he was protecting women and children and brought us all out into the forest. And I was like, I literally felt my body like sweating and could feel all the physical emotions that he was feeling, and like the anxiety of wanting to save these women and children and having these people come try to attack and kill us. And they were doing really terrible things to the women and the children, and I felt it was my responsibility to save these people. I'm like getting energetically affected by it. I've definitely done some like extreme healing on it, so yeah, we're good. We've worked past it. But anyways, I brought us all out into the forest and ended up getting murdered. And I actually experienced his death with him, where I feel like I have experienced real true death in this life because I experienced it with him, where I felt what it felt like for the body to basically check out and for the mind and the consciousness to go into a different space. And in experiencing that death with him, I was able to merge my soul with him. Like our souls were able to release the separation of who I am now and who I once was as him, and my soul was able to come back to itself. So it's kind of like I was relocating and reintegrating aspects of my soul back into this one organism, this one piece in which we all are. So after I experienced his death, I actually felt called to start boxing. I felt a lot of like physical energy and power in my being, and I really look at boxing and fighting and Muay Thai and Taekwondo as an art. I see it as a physical art form. So I started boxing, and immediately I was just like really good. Like I just took to the art, and long story short, I ended up boxing and competing for multiple years and had 15 fights, was undefeated. And really, truly, when I would fight, and when I don't fight anymore. I sometimes train, but I don't really feel called to inflict any physical force on any other beings now in this time in my life. But when I was younger, apparently I did. Again, I felt it as an art form. I would channel his energy. I would literally feel him come through me, and people would always comment like, how do you fight like that? Like someone comes through you entirely. Like there's just no explanation for like how good of a fighter I am besides the fact that I channel him, and again, I feel him come through. There have also been other times where I've felt him come through, where I've been in dangerous situations, where I've been in really bad areas and people have approached me or surrounded me, and it's been like 3-1, and I literally feel his energy come through me, and I embody this powerful being where I stand up and I look at these people in the eyes, and it's really just the energy that I bring forth to the situation. I literally feel it like come through me, that these people don't even like want to fuck with me. So I've like been in dangerous situations, and just the energy in which I've reacted with has recalibrated the entire situation, and I've been fine. Like nothing bad has ever happened to me. I've literally been able to get out of dangerous situations because I'm channeling Ojaya, and that's his name. That's what he told me his name was. So yeah, I love Ojaya, and I'm so grateful for him. And again, that connection to that past life has really helped me in this life, and I've been able to channel abilities and integrate them into who I am now. Another past life experience that I found really interesting that I experienced here on Earth was actually sparked by a person. It was someone that I was dating at the time. Magical, magical soul. One of the best relationships I've ever experienced. We're not together anymore, but we're like extremely close and really good friends. And we realized also that we were together in this life because we had experienced past lives together. We went to the forest one day, and we were sitting by this lake, and we were laying down, and he was like holding me, holding my head. And all of a sudden, I felt the energy of the whole environment shift. And I was like, whoa, okay, something's about to happen here. And my presence just immediately turned on. I was in full awareness of everything that was happening. All of a sudden, as he was holding me, he starts bawling. just like crying his eyes out, like the kind of cries where like your body and your stomach is like convulsing, like just crying, crying, crying. And I didn't say anything, and I was just like allowing it to happen. All of a sudden, I felt this pain through my stomach, as if this dagger was going through my stomach and like being turned. I felt like blood start to like come from my body. It wasn't actually coming, but I felt this, and it was so real. And I just allowed it to happen, and it was like I was dying. I literally felt like I was dying, and I just allowed it. It was just breathing, breathing. He kept crying, crying, crying. All of a sudden, visions of Egypt came in, and I saw myself, and I was bleeding out. I was dying, and was experiencing like this whole, it was another situation where it was like a raid, and I was like inside of this, like, it looked like a pyramid, this like intricate like palace of a place, and could only see certain things around, was hearing yelling, and just was hearing sobbing, just sobbing, and it was him. And once he stopped crying in this realm, he looked at me and he was like, "You died in my arms in Egypt." And I was like, oh my God, wow, yes, I really felt that. I actually just experienced the death again. And then we started connecting our stories, and we literally experienced the exact same thing at the exact same time right in that moment. So we were able to really, really identify and have proof, because we both experienced it separately at the exact same time in this space, that we did live in past lives together, and what we were receiving was actually true because it was matching up so perfectly. So in that case, a person sparked my past life regression, and also the area. I think that because of how the environment of the forest that he and I were laying in was, how it was energetically set up, it was supportive of the frequency for us to be able to tap into and channel that past life experience. And so that was also extremely, extremely powerful for me, because I know that I have ties to Egypt, and Egypt has always really resonated with me, and the goddess Isis works with me in healings. So connecting to that life also allows me to, again, reintegrate another aspect of my soul that just reminds me who I am and what I'm here to do. Past life experiences can also be discovered through dreams. There's actually someone that I have a really deep connection with who has been having dreams of me, or better yet, I've been visiting them in his dreams for almost 2 years now. Now, when I say this, you may think like, oh, someone was just having dreams of you. But actually, the dreams that he would have, and this was, I hadn't even met him at this point, the dreams that he would have, what he would come to me with the next morning, would always tie in to something that I had experienced the day before. Where he would say, hey, you were in my dream last night, saw that you were working against this force, and this happened. It was always an energetic reflection of what I was literally experiencing here in this life. He would also come to me with information that no one else would have access to, things that I have barely even articulated within my own mind, and here he was receiving the answers for me and then relaying them back to me. So for months on end, he was providing me advice that I was showing him in the astral realm through his dreams. And then I was able to take that advice and apply it to what I was currently experiencing in this reality. So in a sense, I was experiencing a parallel reality in the astral realm in the 4th dimension, while I was here also experiencing it in this reality in the 3rd, 5th dimension. So that was actually extremely helpful, because it was really like I was guiding myself through someone else in this life, if that makes sense. And again, it put so much together. I had always felt a connection to Atlantis and Lemuria, but I wasn't really sure how it tied in, or if I actually lived there, or if I just felt energies that were resonance to Lemuria and Atlantis. But I actually, through him, had past life regressions. And what's really cool about this specific past life regression is that most of it doesn't take place here on Earth. A lot of it was actually about my past lives and my parallel realities in the Pleiades. And an aspect of me is still in the Pleiades, my higher self, my oversoul, and that aspect of me is in very deep connection with this aspect of me and is working through me and channeling and translating information to me. So the past life experiences that I experienced with this particular person, I was able to tap deeper into my oversoul that's currently on Pleiades and be able to channel that information more smoothly. Basically just, again, integrate my soul with the other aspects of myself, the higher versions of myself. So through that specific past life experience, I experienced things on the Pleiades where he would tell me things that would really resonate and again would just contain information that no one else would know, where it was just like, all right, like it's undeniable at this point, like the information is just too accurate. And then I would also experience them in my dreams. So it was kind of like he was acting as like the gateway for me to open up my awareness and my perception and my ability to receive this information, and because I experienced it with him as well. So it was also a similar scenario where it was sparking because I experienced those particular lives with him. So his energy merging with my energy allowed me to really tap into those more. So with him, I actually experienced multiple lives on Pleiades as a Pleiadian, and yeah, that was probably like my most magical regression, just like feeling the energy of the Pleiades. It wasn't even necessarily extremely visual like other past life experiences have been here on Earth, but it was a feeling, it was magical. And after the Pleiades, I came down to Atlantis, and I lived in Atlantis for a few lifetimes actually. Then after Atlantis, when it sank, I actually have like direct recollection of turning into a dolphin and swimming to Lemuria and staying in Lemuria and then living there. And then after that, I actually went back up to the star system and I went to Arcturus for a while, and I actually was in Arcturus most recently. My soul is most recently in connection with Arcturus, and that's why the Arcturians came to me first in this life. And again, they have actually come to me very tangibly, and the Arcturians actually came to me before Pleiades. So in connecting with this person who has experienced life with me on Pleiades, I was able to tap into my Pleiadian self more and channel that energy, because up until that point, I had mostly just been connecting with Arcturians and my oversoul from Arcturus. So it was really like I had opened up, again, a new aspect of myself entirely. Also, in connecting with Arcturus, I actually channel a lot of healing energy from Arcturus when I'm doing my personal healing sessions here on Earth. And it actually is like that, where when I am doing healing sessions in the physical, in this realm, I literally feel energy that is moving through my physical body that is derived from a higher vibrational cosmic force and frequency. So currently I'm working with Arcturians, and that's how I'm doing a lot of my energy healing. So again, that was extremely helpful. In recalling that life, I'm able to tap into that frequency and channel abilities through this life that are helpful to not only me, but in benefit to all. I'm also currently integrating aspects of myself that have worked with the Yahyel, and I actually feel that these aspects of myself come from the future. So I've done a lot of past life regression on Earth, where I've experienced life as different humans, also in the astral realm, and also in the cosmic realms where I've lived in different star systems. And again, there are so many that I could explain, but these are just the few that I feel are like little potent knowledge nuggets for you. And now I'm tapping into future aspects of myself. So working with the Yahyel, I believe that the Yahyel will most likely be first contact, and they have come into my life most recently for such a good reason. They bring the frequency of love and joy and laughter and dance and music and play. And right now, that is what I'm looking to tap more into. Recently, I've been like super like, I have to get all of this ascension information out into the public, and like wanting to write my book and creating my course and doing readings and sessions multiple a day, which is all extremely good, and I feel really good about it. My soul and my heart is happy. But now I'm working into a space where I'm like, okay, more dance, more fun, more play, and that's where the Yahyel are coming in. And I literally feel their presence. I actually haven't experienced them physically here just yet, because I'm receiving guidance that I will eventually, and I'm basically just attuning my own personal frequency in order to receive them properly. but tapping into the energy of myself that is in connection with them in the future, I actually am channeling more fun and more laughter into my life, where I'm just like a little bit more lighthearted and I'm experiencing things and not taking it so seriously. And this has always been how I am, but again, as I just mentioned, just recently I've stepped into this mode where I'm like, grind, you know, like grind, 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 like more serious mode, like really in devotion to like the mission. But I'm looking to integrate all aspects of myself, because once we are fully ascended, all aspects of ourselves, then we're in best alignment. And again, like the journey is the process, and the process is beautiful. So like, don't push yourself, don't force yourself to try and recall these past lives or these future lives in order to be your best version right here, right now. Like, it's all a process, and there's a reason why we receive information in the time that we do. So sometimes we're not in a mental or emotional or spiritual or physical space to receive certain information or to recall or remember past life experiences. So trust the divine plan of your existence. Like, you definitely will recall things when you are meant to. And just initiating that desire to recall your past lives or your future lives allows that space to be created so that you can actually call those experiences to you and align yourself so that you're able to receive them properly as well. I think that that's good for today. If this resonates with you, please let me know. And if you have certain past life experiences that you'd like to share, please do so in the comments. I love when you guys comment and we create this little community of this 5D consciousness, or however you would like to identify it or claim whatever it is that is happening to you. We're creating a community where we're all feeling really comfortable sharing openly about what is really truly happening to us. And again, this is real. Like, I would not make these videos if I wasn't experiencing these things tangibly, if there wasn't proof where it's like undeniable. That's why I'm doing this. Otherwise, like, I'd be chilling just like having visions of myself and being like, cool, like whatever, like, but no, I feel called because I know that you guys are also experiencing this. And yeah, we all deserve to just feel comfortable and remember and reawaken. Like, again, that's like what we came here to do. So blessings to you. Really truly appreciate you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for existing in this particular timeline. You are a blessing. Love to you always. Namaste.